I was just starting to empty the dishwasher, and I thought, well, let me do a before, because this is what happens. When you make a meal in my house, because I need to make so much. That wine box is all compost, so I'll throw that right in the compost, or I won't, one of the kids will. So yeah, I do have a magic wand. Yesterday I used a snap of my fingers, but I'll dig out my magic wand and make this all go away, because we have a boiled dinner to do. And how can we make a boiled dinner when there's this mess about? One more little scoop around, bootin' scootin'. Yeah, lovely, huh? Lovely. That's big family living. All right, where's my wand? Here it is. So, bibbity, bobbity, boo. All right, guys. Well, my magic wand's doing its work. I thought I'll bring this stuff out to the compost. I usually get one of the kids, but I thought I'll just do a little walkabout. There's snow on the ground. It's a cloudy, kind of cloudy day. It's not that cold out. We don't even have our wood stove going. But just another minute to wish you a happy St. Patrick's Day. You can see we have massive trees in our yard, taller than our house. Big old trees. In the summer, when they're in full bloom, I'll bring you around and introduce them, because they all have personalities. I think they do. They're pretty cool. Some are very old trees. Well, most of them are very old trees. Here long before me. Oh, I'm trying to do all this one-handed. Just a minute. There. Just a quick little blurb. Those two, we have two, our driveway's like a big horseshoe, and there's two massive trees at the entrance of them both. I call them the guardian trees. And they're beautiful when they don't have leaves, but they're spectacular when they do have leaves. These two trees, when you just come out of the house, I'll get a better view one of these days. I call them a brother and sister tree. I think they're one of the oldest trees here, maybe. But, yeah, they'd be the wise trees. But there's trees way higher than our house. And our house isn't a little house. Anyways, let's go see what magic has been done. Ta-da! Now, it wasn't a deep clean, but the table's cleared off, ready for the next mess. Just the telephone's there. The counter is wiped down. That's my messy counter. There's bananas I'm going to make banana muffins with, and that's the last of the oranges. I think there's 5 or 6 oranges left. Craziness. And the sink's cleaned out. Oh, I need to put that one egg that's left from that container back in the fridge. And the stove's wiped off. So, I'm going to dig that stock pot out of the porch, and we're going to rinse those pork ribs off and start simmering those for a couple of hours. After I change Mr. Maze's bum. And wash my hands, of course. Alright guys, I got the pork out of the porch, and I'll take you over to the sink in just a minute, but I just wanted to show you what I do. I'm going to reserve a little bit of this water it's been soaked in. It's salty water because it's been sitting in it all night, and whatever salt was in the meat. Now, yeah, this is raw water, and I cook it in a separate pot, and if we have extra vegetables, because oftentimes the vegetables get eaten up super fast, I can cook some more vegetables and add that 4 cups, to the pot of vegetables I'm cooking, along with some fresh water. And it cooks with a very similar flavor as the boiled dinner, so it works so good. But right now, I'll bring you over to the sink and we're going to strain this. Now, I've learned not to overthink things. And instead of trying to wrestle, because my mobility is kind of limited, I have the strength, but I'm paying for it shortly after. These salt riblets, you'll see, instead of me trying to dump a whole heavy pot of water, I just take my trusty tongs and take those out. I'll rinse them off and I will put them back in the pot after I dump the water out. So I don't have to be so careful. Not that I just willy-nilly dump a giant pot of water because I don't want it splashing everywhere. But you guys know what it's like if you're trying to empty a big pot of potatoes and the potatoes flop out and water splashes everywhere. I certainly don't want that to happen, especially with raw meat. No thank you. And now you can see, they're like ribs, that's what it is, only they're salted. And after they simmer for a couple of hours, they break apart. The meat falls off sometimes it's still on the bone. But it's good. And yeah, myself and the kids, the little kids, don't really care for the meat a whole lot, but we love the flavor of boiled dinner. So that's why I cook so many vegetables, honestly, because the vegetables are in demand. Right from the cabbage to the onion. So I just put that on a plate. I'm going to put this over to the side for now. And now, I can easily, rest assured to know I'm not going to have big chunks of bone falling out, making the water splash everywhere. There's the whirlpool. Now after I'm done all this, I'll do it off camera, but I'm going to spray the sink down with heavy duty cleaner, wipe it all out. I'm not just going to let that sit and grow germs. I just give this a quick rinse. I don't need to wash it or anything because it's going to be cooked. And I do the same with the meat. Just rinse it off again. Not 100%, but it's all good. So there. Woo! Almost dropped. There. Now I'll wash that strainer. I'll disinfect my sink. And we're going to simmer this bad boy for a couple of hours. I'm going to bring it up to boil and then I'm going to turn it down to medium low. And yeah, once that time is up, I will start adding vegetables. So I'm going to take a little break after this. I had my lunch, but I might have a cup of tea or just kick back because my dogs are starting to bark already, meaning my feet are hurting. And yeah, when it's time to cut up the cabbage, it'll be a little while, a couple of hours, and because it's just the cabbage and a few more potatoes I need to peel up. And then this will be, all we'll have to do is add vegetables to the pot. That's it. Easy peasy. So, lemon squeezy. Alright, well, we'll put this on the stove and I'll check back in a bit. So, what are you girls doing now?
Building a fort. Yes.
What day is today?
St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. So, do we believe in leprechauns?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Alright, wish everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, these guys are about to make a pretty cool blanket fort, so I'll bring you back when it's all together and we might take a little tour. Alright, these still have about an hour to go. It's hard to see with the steam, but they're coming along. And I'm gonna cut up one of these cabbages and then I'll come back and talk to you a little more. And the potatoes that are gonna be for the boiled dinner, I'll put them in here. And yeah, I've been procrastinating about that because I took a little break. And yeah, the girls are having a good time with their camp. They're waiting, they said they're almost ready for their tour, so I thought I'll do this and then I'll take my time with the tour. Alright, I'll be right back. Hold on a sec. Okay, well I got one cabbage chopped up. It's really easy to chop up cabbage, I find. Because, well, for boiled dinner anyways. Sauerkraut's another story. But how we do it in big chunks, it's lickety-split. So, I really should be sitting down to doing this. But I started to peel the first layer off, but then I thought for people that don't know, you should always peel the first layer of cabbage off. We're going to rinse this cabbage anyways, but you just don't know who's handled it. Yeah. So, no professional, you just give it a good hack, but this is a good sharp knife, because cabbages are root vegetables and they're hard. As long as you're careful, you don't want little fingers around. This is how I do it, kind of like how I did the turnip. And yeah, I know, the root is still in there, but we're going to take care of that. I find it's easier to deal with the cabbage cut up in smaller chunks. And ooh, the straps are falling down. Okay, we still have half a cabbage there, but most of the root was in this one. I cut it not quite in the middle. Oh, I gotta sit down. I need to learn how to do this stuff sitting down. It's so much easier to do it standing up, but for my own health, I've been told by several professionals I need to sit down. So that's what I'm going to do. If you see, I cut the core out there. I'll do it to another one. And this is kind of a thinner piece. I cut it like that because it's going to break off in little pieces as it boils. And yeah, they might seem like big pieces, but if cabbage is cooked right, and I cook a lot of cabbage, it's soft and you can easily cut it with your fork. You don't need a knife, and it's not leathery. See, this has a little bit of, just a little bit of the core. You got to cut that out. I throw it over here. And I don't want to be beating a dead horse, but here in Nova Scotia we have a compost program. Not all provinces in Canada do, but they should. Just the same as a recycle program.
Can we get some food for that? Because I'm hungry.
No, we're going to have supper in a little while. I want to sly dogs. I'm trying to get more snacks, and then they won't end up eating their supper. They've been snacking all day, for goodness sakes. Another core. Anyways, the compost program, just like those big garbage bins, they come around, it's a big green bin, and they come around and pick up our compost every other week. Now on the opposite weeks, they come and get our garbage and recycle. And we recycle everything. So normally we have more recycle than we do garbage. And it's all depending on where you live. And I understand it's not the people's fault. You got to do what you're told to do. In regards to, that sounds terrible because you don't need to always listen to your government. But anyways, when they empty cans or there's paper or boxes, goes and compost, throw it right in the garbage. That's totally bizarre to me because we've been composting for years here in Nova Scotia. And I love that we do that because it's taking care of the earth. I just wish everybody would do it because it's so important. Now, I don't have a personal compost for my garden. I should, but I don't. But I know this compost goes back into the earth and goes to feed our world. So, anyways, I'm not going to ramble on because this video is going to be long enough. And if I could have you with me all day long, I'm not even joking, I would talk to you all day long. I didn't realize I'd opened up so much. I've been doing this YouTube. I say it's been for fun, but really it's to push my boundaries because I never liked pictures being taken of me. I didn't like public speaking. I didn't like, not that I'm the center of attention, but I fade to the background. I observe. I like to do that kind of thing. But when it comes to YouTubing, I need to learn to turn this thing around is what I need to do so I could see what's actually filming. Yeah, I've been talking and looks like my boobs have been talking. So, come here, Tracy, smarten up. Anyways, I'm going to cut up the rest of that cabbage, but just to have a little heart to heart. So, oh, come on, Tracy. There. That's that compost box over there. Anyways, I've been trying to push my limits and my boundaries and realized it's our own selves that hold us back. I mean, I'm just going to put myself out there, and what will be, because I've been really embarrassed about putting this on my own personal Facebook. Because I didn't want people that actually know me to know that I'm doing this, because I was scared. And some people know, some people don't. I still haven't put it on there, but I know a lot of people that are on my personal Facebook know about this, and it's okay. I will put it out there a little more blatantly, but I'm glad I'm doing this, and I'm glad I'm getting to know new people, because I've had a few people email me now, and it's so nice to get positive feedback. And this is real life. This is the ultimate reality show. I'm not into reality TV. This is the ultimate reality. This is my house. This is what I'm doing. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's ridiculous. Sometimes whatever. Anyways, I won't ramble on because I could, but that pork's going to keep going. Oh, what is the best way to do this lighting? That pork will keep going. I'll cut up the rest of that cabbage, and I'll do some more potatoes, and I'll peel them all without you watching. But I'll show you me chunking up one, just so you can see the size. And then we'll just wait till it's showtime. Alright. Hi guys. Before, I was just supposed to do this, but then I thought you might want to see. I'm going to taste this. This broth is cooked. Like, it's been cooking over an hour now, so there's nothing raw in here. We're just trying to get that meat tenderized, I guess. I'll leave it up because I'm going to taste this to see if it's salty. Because sometimes it all depends on the meat that you get. Sometimes it's the salt just about goes away. Sometimes it's super salty. I don't know what this is, so I'm going to taste it. Ooh, yeah. That is super salty, so I'm going to fill up a pot, and we're going to put some more fresh water in there, which we have to do anyways. But just hold on a second. Alright, I'm just about done the potatoes. I thought I'd do one or two more so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, again. I cut myself out, but I'm too lazy to get up and fix it. So, yeah, I just peeled them. These are small potatoes that are left. I did have some big kahunas earlier, but so small ones like this, I'll probably leave whole. Because like I say, in our boiled dinner, we like to, this is one I'll have to cut. We like to have big chunky stuff, and sometimes we end up mashing it. Both my partner and my teenage son, they like to put vinegar on it. The other ones don't. Like I say, it's salty. And yeah, it's really tasty. It's a nice treat. I think it's an acquired taste. If somebody's never had boiled dinner, let's see. I should have zoomed in, but they're not little tiny chunks. You know what I mean? They're significant bunches, but they're going to boil for enough time to cook. Normally, when I cook mashed potatoes for my regular supper, I just peel potatoes and leave them whole. If they're big, I cut them in half, but I don't bother spending my time to cut them up small to cook them faster, because I usually have a bunch of stuff to do, and I just leave them. I peel them and cook them. So these aren't going to take as long as regular, but they're not going to take as quick as the corned beef hash potatoes, because I cut those up small. So there. I'm just going to fill this pot with cold water. Baby feeding time. Okay guys, I got a little distracted. It's 4:11, but I'm going to take the salt pork out and put it on this cookie sheet, or at least what I can get out of it, just so we have more room in the pot.
Done.
All right. And I'm going to cover this with foil and put it in the oven, like I said, for 170, which is just enough to keep it steady. That's a lot of ribs. Oh, jeez. And then I'll start adding the vegetables. So when I get the vegetables over here, I'll be right back and you can help me. Okay, I'm going to start adding the vegetables now. And I don't do it like other people do it. I layer it little bit by little bit. People think cabbage takes very little time to cook. I like my cabbage cooked a certain way, so it takes longer than 20 minutes. I'm adding potatoes right now. I don't want it to splash up on me. I'm not going to add my whole pot of potatoes yet, because I still have carrots and turnip and cabbage to add. So, you can see, just with the cold potatoes, the hot water's cooling down a little bit. There's a little bit of potatoes left in my pot. I gotta turn this around so I can see what's being filmed. Okay, let's get some carrots and turnip. I'm adding both right now. This is going to be a massive boiled dinner. But I'm telling you folks, we're not going to eat it all tonight. But this is always a favorite. And it gets eaten. It doesn't get wasted. So now I have a little bit of that left. Now I'm going to add some cabbage because I have a whack of cabbage. This has been rinsed. And remember folks, I still have that reserve. So, because I might have to peel more carrots and potatoes tomorrow to go with the rest of the broth or the meat. Even if I don't use all these vegetables for boiled dinner, they're not going to go to waste. There's tons of meals these can go with, so I'm not worried. I'd rather have too much than too little. Because I got a big family to feed, and it comes in handy when you have vegetables prepped already, let me tell you. In an ideal world for me, I would buy all my vegetables prepped and ready to rock, but oftentimes if you do that, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting when you get already shredded cheese. You don't know what you're getting when you get the little baby carrots. I like to buy whole carrots.
Mommy,
They're not always organic.
Mommy.
I try to do what I... Just a minute, Maze. For goodness sakes, that stinking gate. Do you understand what he's saying? He's saying gate. Gate. I'll let him in. But if you can still hear me. What are you doing, Maze? I try to buy stuff that's in its original packaging, if you know what I'm saying. A whole cabbage. I make my own coleslaw. I used to not. I used to buy the pre-shredded. I try to buy whole carrots and cut them up when I can.
Mommy. No.
You know, it might not be the 100% best, but it's better than the pre-made. Convenience-wise, no, it's not. So you do what works for your family. Because if you're a busy mom and a busy dad, and one of you work outside the home, or both of you work outside the home, I get it. You got to do what you got to do. I'm not knocking you. I envy your drive. That's a lot of work. You're sacrificing a lot to provide for your family. I get it. That's enough cabbage for now. I still have a whole bunch. But like I say, we use cabbage a lot. Sometimes we have it just as a side dish. And after we're all done eating supper, there's still going to be a lot of broth in here. I'm going to throw some more cabbage in there, and it'll still continue to cook. I'm going to add a little more of this. Not all of it. A little more potatoes. And I just push it down. This is big stock pot, folks. I would say it's like 22 quarts, maybe. It's almost as big as my pressure cooker. It is, actually, because it's wider than my pressure cooker canner. Bubble, bubble. It's going now, that's for sure. You can still tell, you know, the cabbage and stuff are still hard, but it's getting there. Alright guys, I'm going to take the meat off the tray. I just took it out of the oven. The vegetables are just about done. Really, just about done. I'm going to shut the oven off, or the stovetop off, and put what meat I can in. And it's been warm. But just for a couple of minutes. And again, this is what I do. Not everybody does this. This is what I do. The burner is shut off, remember. I'll show you the pan after, because a lot of the bones fall out. And it's been simmering a long time. And don't get me wrong, there's still flavor in these bones, but because when I make turkey broth, I let it simmer. Geez, 16, 18 hours, honestly, I do. The longer, the better. Bone broth, but it's shut off. It's hot. It's 5:03, and we'll serve supper around 5:30. But when I do that, and I've never really done this before. Usually people just fish in and get their own stuff, but since we have a crowd, I'm going to put stuff out on a platter, and it's not going to be pretty. I like it just thrown on there and people just get what they want. It's just the way I roll. Rustic, whatever you want to call it. Alright guys, we're about to dress my platter. And if you're from Nova Scotia, in my experience, I'm going to turn this around so I can see what I'm filming. I keep saying that. I'm sorry guys. I forget. I'm not used to a camera that's so fancy. Like I say, if you're from Nova Scotia, in my experience, you have a main platter. And this is my main platter. I remember my mom's platter. This is my main platter. It's not huge. It's not small. It's like medium. But this is my main platter. At Thanksgiving, at Christmas, whatever. So since I'm having a crowd, like it's a celebration, it's a holiday. Respect. Talk about Ireland. Talk about Irish history. That's what we've been doing all day. I should have recorded more, but I didn't want it to be a, 5-hour video. I just want to show you guys. I wasn't going to bring you back so soon, but I want to show you. This is still, it was only seconds ago. I just wanted to try to do what I could do and get most of it done and bring you back to show you just a couple of little bits. But some of the bones, if you can see, I was going to start, hacking into it and cutting it up in pieces. But look, the bones come right out. This one isn't the greatest example, but that's one. Bones come right off. Hi guys, I look like a floating head. Right now, actually, I'm in the Superstore parking lot. My oldest daughter came out for the St. Patrick's Day dinner, and Dad was out. It was a blast, it really was. He had a good time playing with the kids and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, it's nice when all my kids can be together. I really enjoy that. It happens often, but it's especially nice when, family is everything is all I have to say. Whether they're blood or not, family is everything. Your friends can be your family. Don't ever forget that. You know what I mean? You're never alone. But anyways, a funny story. I brought my daughter into town because she had to get some furnace oil, and we had those big oil jugs. She might film me a little bit trying to fill up her oil tank because it's up on a ledge and stuff, and it's going to be hilarious probably. It's freaking freezing outside. But anyways, I'm there trying to fill up the jugs, and I squirt oil all over the pavement and all over my pants. So I'm probably sitting in my van getting high right now, smelling like oil. She just ran into the store. She had to pick up a couple things. I said, no worries, I'm just going to be in here playing on my phone and stuff like that. But yeah, you just never know what a day's going to bring. So yeah, I smell like oil. Furnace oil, mind you. And when she's done, we're going to head out to her house and try to dump 2 giant oil jugs into her big oil tank. I've never done it before. And, usually her boyfriend does. He's gone fishing. So, yeah, it's going to be quite something. So I'll check you later. And when I get home, I'm going to sit down with you and make sure the kitchen's clean. The kids' butts are gone to bed. It's been a long day. A good day. But it's been a long day. And I'm going to have a glass of wine and bid you adieu. So, yeah, I'll check you in a little bit.